Alrighty guys, so welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be reacting to the newest part to Dogpack's videos. I believe we did part 2, I'm not sure, or it was part 1, I'm not exactly sure which part we started on when we started doing the whole MrBeast thing. I believe it was part 2 because we started a little late on everything pretty much. But I wanted to go ahead and keep up with it anyways because these are all newer allegations and stuff like that that have popped up on the channel and stuff like that. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed today's video, don't forget to drop a like and sub. Here's a YouTube comment shout out, boys. Let's go to get into it. Alrighty, guys. So before we start, I know there's gonna be all kinds of people in the comments. Can a YouTuber do an original video for once? I'm literally gonna be talking about the entire thing. Like it's been blowing up like crazy. Obviously the last video, we covered it anyways. Like we've already been covering this, so saying that I have not covered this yet is kind of crazy work. But I got a lot of comments like that last time, so I'm just kind of clearing things up right now and kind of explaining why I'm even reacting to it in the first place. I mean, considering I used to watch MrBeast quite a lot. I don't watch him that much recently anymore, but I used to watch him quite a bit, so I'm most definitely going to have to check this out. Let's go and get into it.
This video is going to focus around one instance of SA. I wanted to put all the SA allegations.
Also, I'm watching this on my second monitor, guys. Like I said,
final video.
I don't like watching stuff on my small monitor, so I'm looking this way.
Sort of overestimated how easy that would be, as far as like getting everything approved with victims and lawyers, and like also traditional media is involved. They've been DMing me, New York Times, Time Magazine, also like documentary people. I don't know, you're like, hey, I've worked with Netflix and Hulu and Apple TV and Peacock, are you interested? And I'm like, I don't know, but I think people should go to those more legitimate sources to get their stories out. So I've been referring people to other people, because traditional has,
I think honestly the way Dogpack's doing it, he's not monetizing his content or anything like that, so he most definitely is doing the right thing in that regard. So I think him doing his own story up on his channel is perfectly fine. I mean, even if he did want to monetize it, it's technically his content, he puts the work into it and stuff like that. Me personally, if I put that much work into it, I'm sorry boys, I'm selling out. Your boy needs cash. Okay? Your boy's selling out, I'm just joking. For serious stuff like this, I think you gotta go the free route, only because if you don't go the free route, and that's just not good. I mean, it doesn't look good on you specifically. And then again, if you do these documentaries and stuff, it's kind of like a low-key way of getting paid while doing it at the same time. But at the same time, he just wants to get this out for like journalistic, type of views and stuff. But this is why I don't do videos like this, because I'm a bit of a sellout, so we just don't do those types of videos because we're not scummy like that.
Legal protections than I do, for sure. I do have sort of that bigger project, the original part 3, and I have a lot of other interviews and other allegations that I'm working on putting together, so I have something.
I think he's doing a good job at
when MrBeast responds, if his response is bad,
at like passing around sources for people to go to.
Lied here and here,
because then they could just get the documentaries from the actual victims themselves and not straight from Dogpack.
New allegations, and
because all the liability falls back on the people, and the people who make the documentary, not him.
But yeah, I just wanted to say this is just around sort of one allegation. Also, everything in this video is allegedly. This video is not monetized. It's for educational purposes only.
Yeah, exactly. What I was talking about before.
Matters of public interest. I'll put a full disclaimer.
It's just he's trying his best to make it more like a professional type set of video.
Covering MrBeast's secret CEO James Warren.
So yeah, I don't know what
his involvement in SA cover-ups, like the one including his best friend LaKoya Hill, who also happens to be MrBeast's secret chief operating officer. Or
I know last video we had a bit of an issue with the audio, where it was like way louder than my voice.
Himself, Jimmy Donaldson.
Watching OBS on the screen.
Publicly and transparently been engaging in a massive cover-up.
There we go. I think that's
deleting a lot of evidence, and I think a lot of this cover-up is going sort of completely under the radar. We're not even aware of what's being swept under the rug, and they're getting away with hiding and deleting evidence. After I called out James Warren by name in my last video, his Instagram and Facebook got taken down, and his LinkedIn got taken down. So quick profile on James Warren. He's Jimmy's cousin and secret CEO, and I say secret because they're not very open about that fact. Like he doesn't post about it on social media. It wasn't ever attached to his LinkedIn. He's never featured or really referenced anywhere.
But that's kind of weird.
Aggressive.
I mean, unless he just stopped using LinkedIn. I mean, some people just stop using it. It's not impossible.
There's allegedly domestic violence charges that were filed against him, and I say allegedly because It turns out there's a lot of people in North Carolina named James Warren who assault their girlfriends, I guess. So I'm still having people look into these cases, specifically that surprise witness on YouTube. She's been super helpful in like behind the scenes, just submitting freedom of information requests and
Right.
just helping me out a lot in general. She's super nice, super smart. She'll be posting a lot of updates on her channel.
So he's getting
Also
outside
bragging about
sources.
the MrBeast
And once again, this
situation.
takes liability away
MrBeast
from him.
video caused a military operation.
James Warren also allegedly.
Whoa, what the hell?
I've heard that he offered cocaine and hookers to editors.
A military operation? What do they do, bro?
There was some incident between him and a female
what
colleague,
the fuck?
that resulted in the female.
What kind of crazy shit you got to do to cause a whole ass military operation to go down? Bro got 5 stars on GTA.
Incident, so if you have information, let me know.
Mid fucking video too. That is absolutely crazy.
This is true, and this did happen. Also, I should quickly clarify
Like, what
that
the
a lot
fuck?
of this investigation is allegedly.
Ah, what the hell? What am I looking at in the top right, bro?
These instances, I have a lot of testimony.
MrBeast, put your
corroborating
fucking
testimony.
cock away, buddy. What the fuck am I looking at, man?
Is that hopefully
Ah, what the hell is that?
Like after, you know, the Jake
Lakoya
Paul
Hill.
got posted, which was all mostly testimony. People came out.
Yeah, I don't know.
The story, and then ultimately Jimmy ended up apologizing and offering him $190,000.
Interesting. Interesting to say nonetheless.
Is most likely an admission of guilt. You know, you don't apologize for things that you didn't do. So anyway, I just wanted to get that out of the way. But what's not allegedly is that James Warren is.
I'm also keeping an eye on OBS real quick,
acquisitions
boys, so I can
of
try to see if
real estate investment firm.
there's any issues with the
LLC,
face cam. Face cam might block some of the stuff. I don't know.
in this indictment of his former,
Maybe we should go on the
business
bottom
partner,
right because I think
Joshua
Dogpack is gonna
Hutchins,
show right there.
who
Let's
was
move. Yeah, we're
sentenced
moving.
to 10 years in prison.
I don't want to cover the
for
titles or anything so you guys
running
can see
a
it
real
too.
estate Ponzi scheme.
Ponzi schemes are great up until they just go bust.
So
Also,
before
we will
working
have
with MrBeast,
Dogpack's
James
video
Warren,
linked down
was
below if you want to
involved
hear
in
it without me
fraud.
talking, me yapping in the
Confessions
background.
mentioned in the
I'll make sure to include the
transcripts,
actual videos
of
from now
this
on, just so it
case.
doesn't
This
seem
is
like
the
I'm
sentence hearing
stealing
for
content,
Joshua
even though I'm
Hutchins.
very much
We're gonna
reacting to
highlight
it
testimony from
actively.
just one of these victims, a retirement age woman named Sylvia. She testifies,
Okay.
I came to know Mr. Hutchins through a very reputable and successful real estate attorney who highly recommended Mr. Hutchins and who eventually left his agency.
Okay, so this is
to
for the
become
scam,
the
right?
chief
I think I was
operating
yapping a
officer
little too
of
much, like I
Mr.
missed it.
Hutchins' investment firm. The chief operating officer
Yeah, it
of
was.
Mr.
Okay.
Hutchins' investment firm. She explains that the
Oh, this is
reason
one of
she
the
trusted Mr.
investors.
Hutchins was through the strong recommendation and endorsement
Yeah,
from that
what
very
the
reputable and
fuck?
successful real estate agent. He represented Mr. Hutchins as highly competent and capable. He presented a successful track record in how Mr. Hutchins had delivered for other
So,
investments.
was she
On the next
scammed,
page
or-
16, she testifies, my trust was and has been severely violated.
Oh yeah, she was
This is
scammed.
the equivalent
Hmm.
of financial. Many of us entrusted.
You
Mr.
know what else was a
Hutchins,
really
who
great
we've come to
project and
know
had
to
a
be
lot of
fraudulent.
promise?
Just
Crypto Zoo.
$1.3+ million of
Yep.
worthless paper signed by
Another
him
one of those
fraudulently
projects, man.
misrepresented in the courts. So Hutchins was
But it's in
convicted
realty,
for
man. You could
soliciting
totally trust them.
investment monies by telling victims that their
Oh.
money would be put to work
Oh, you can't.
on a specific property. In fact,
Motherfuckers
Hutchins
might as
did
well
not
just go
allow the
invest in the
investor
dink
funds to work
doink.
on the property on which the investor was
Whatever
solicited
the
to
fuck that shit
invest,
was called.
and
That
instead
Logan Paul had before
regularly
Crypto
used
Zoo.
investor funds on other properties.
I don't know if it was
for
before or after
personal
Crypto Zoo,
expenses.
actually. I need to
Now,
rewatch
what
that
kind of
Copy
personal
Zilla video.
expenses? Well, apparently he bought an AR-15 and hundreds of rounds of ammunition.
What
His
the
wife had a
fuck?
domestic violence order of protection against him. He's accused of calling his wife a lying rat and sending menacing photos of himself in tactical gear in the woods to her friends and family. Again, according to Sylvia's testimony, James Warren represented Mr. Hutchins
Okay.
as highly competent and capable.
Bro probably
She
thought he
continues
was
on
him,
page
huh?
17. James Warren, the then realtor who recommended me to Hutchins, also encouraged us to work with Mr. Hutchins on trying to make it work. And we did until it became very evident as to his apparent intent of complete fraud. So James appearing to sort of try to mediate this exchange, saying, hey, give him a chance. Don't pursue him. Don't sue him. Just make it work, right? The real losses due to fraud.
What the
are evident.
fuck?
Financially, he's devastated my retirement. I can only hope and thank the good Lord that I have a brain to be able to function and try to earn back as much as possible. The impact, over $1.3 million in real losses. These
Nah,
are not I got a
bro.
piece of property. It was all fraud.
Okay. 1.3 million. That is nothing to scoff at, boys.
She goes on to
Just to
describe
keep it a
her
quick buck
financial
with you,
troubles
that's
through
pretty
the
much what the
years,
average person
supporting her
makes in, like,
mother who had
I
Alzheimer's
think or something like
disease,
that,
how in
like
the
in their
crash of
lifetime, if they're
2008,
just on
she
like
lost
a,
her
not a minimum
job
wage, but
for
like a
2
base
years, was
salary of like maybe
unemployed.
like 40 to
In
50K a
2014, she had
year.
a severe cancer
That's how much they make
diagnosis,
in like
was
their
out of work for
lifetime.
over a year.
Like
She
a couple
continues,
mil
in
maybe
spite of
actually,
all
not
that,
not
I've
just
lived
1.3,
very
but
frugally and tried to
still
make
that's a
things work.
lot.
I've
That's
made
a
him know
lot
of all
of
my
fucking
history,
money.
and I told him I could not take the risk. He and James Warren, the then
Like, if we blow up on
realtor,
YouTube, we
stated,
got
"Oh,
1.3 mil
real
right now.
estate."
Oh my
He goes on
god.
to describe how they presented it as a
Your boy
safe
would
investment
most
opportunity
definitely
for
at least
her,
buy a
and then
decent
James Warren's
house. Not
business
a crazy
partner
house. I don't
defrauded
need a
her
big
of
one.
$1.3 million.
But I'd be
Can I
set
claim
for a little while.
definitively that James
At least.
Warren was aware of the fraud that was taking place and willingly complicit in helping Mr. Hutchins defraud old ladies? No.
Right.
But from what I've heard of James Warren's character, how he's hit ex-girlfriends,
Okay,
not let them leave the
well,
house,
I
beat his
mean,
dog,
he kind of just.
defrauded people in his
I mean,
own
I don't think he
ways,
necessarily
creative juices
did the scamming himself, but he also did recommend somebody who's kind of scummy
as well as another
in the
scheme
long
related
run, and
to it
then
conducted with LaQuia Hill.
they ended
I
up to be a
personally
scummy person
believe that
themselves.
when he
So
was working with Mr. Hutchins, he was in similar company. I think the COO of acquisitions would know and be sort of responsible for properties not being properly acquired through the court system. But again, that's my opinion. That's all allegedly. Now, on to his alleged best friend, LaQuia Hill. They both went to UNC Chapel Hill together, and they both, after graduating, got into real estate. But by 2017, LaQuia Hill was running an adult entertainment event business in San Francisco called LaQuia Hill Entertainment. Then in 2019, he was hired to MrBeast as a producer.
what the fuck? Hey, look, I found Waldo, boys.
Into this place where you have the drag queens, the muscle daddies, the bears, the twinks, the posh boys.
Now, I'm all for personal freedoms. I believe adults should be able to do whatever
Wow,
they
this
want.
video editing is
However, I
interesting.
question
Very
what,
interesting choices here,
qualified the
honestly.
sort of go-go dance drag daddy of San Francisco for a job producing YouTube content for children. But, it'd also be weird if Mr. Beast
Interesting.
hired,
Yeah,
Johnny
maybe.
Sins as the janitor,
I mean, those
guess.
LGBTQ
The
parades. I
second
mean,
issue,
they
though,
say
the
they're
issue
for
is that
children, right? I
in
mean,
late 2021, he was allegedly
I swear,
fired
bro.
for sexually
Look,
assaulting
I'm not
his
one for
assistant.
violence,
Now, I put fired
but
in
if
quotation marks
anybody tries to
because
parade
he was
their
actually
penis
quietly
around
moved
my
to a
child
dubbing company,
or anything, I don't
which
have
was
any children,
Duolingo at
but
the time.
or like
He
my
was,
younger like cousins or something like
proof
that,
he
they might
used
just
a
get
LaQuia
slapped
ID
across the
and got
fucking
TV
mouth.
email,
Just
links back
possibly.
to him, links to
Possibly.
his
Not
photos,
guaranteeing
one
you
of
to.
which was the profile
Don't
picture for his
hate me
YouTube
now.
channel.
Don't strike.
Which also, after my first video, his YouTube channel mysteriously got deleted. And at some point, his Twitter also got deleted. I don't know if that's when he sexually assaulted his assistant. That's after my first video got
And they just
posted.
had this man on the
Either
MrBeast
way,
team, bro.
Booty Call Wednesdays are canceled. He was actually brought back to MrBeast in 2023 after sexually assaulting his assistant prior, and promoted to Chief Financial Officer, which is how I personally was introduced to him. Here's some evidence from the internal Slack channel
He's a
on
COO,
MrBeast showing LaQuia
which is
Hill
not
acting
no
in some
light like
COO
position at all.
capacity,
COO is
saying
below a
news reporters
CEO, but
outside
it
do not
is
engage with them.
still way up there.
This was shortly after the Time magazine article came out. So here I have a document showing testimony from former MrBeast employees talking about LaQuia Hill. When I say verify,
So what qualifies him to be like a person of like
they just want to remain anonymous,
this
but,
position? You know
I'm
what I
willing
mean?
to share this
Like
with,
all I've seen is him be in a
any
bunch of fucking
third
drag
party if
shows.
it needs to happen.
I mean, I know this is
Personally, I don't think
like
Mr.
very
Beast
minimal
should deny
context, but like
sort of this
it seems
LaQuia
like the
Hill
large
story.
majority
Let
of
me
his
show you.
branding and his
Here's the
Twitter and
first
shit that was all
testimony. I'll say
deleted
this
had all
person
fucking
is
drag
especially
shows and
credible, in
like
my
gay
opinion.
shit going
I
on.
asked them, did you see or hear of any sexual misconduct at the company? They say yes.
Like,
LaQuia Hill,
and I don't
current
even mean like in
COO.
general. I mean like
2021, he
specifically,
had an
why
assistant
would he
named
be hired for MrBeast, who works around children? His content is meant for children. That's my main issue here. I have no issue with the whole, you know,
I heard LaQuia
him in
acted
general. Like this is like a,
victim,
I don't know,
booking
like
hotel rooms with only one bed, walking around in his
the
underwear,
hub or something,
having
like the
victim come to his
the
house and
CEO of the
showing
hub.
his sex
But like I don't
collection.
know.
Just in general, LaQuia
It's
made
just
victim
wild.
uncomfortable. Victim started complaining to higher ups, and a report got written. LaQuia was put on paid leave for like a month. Then MrBeast moved him to the dubbing company, and he was hired back.
Wait a minute. And was
promoted to COO.
So he sexually assaulted someone, or made them feel uncomfortable at least.
100% know his history.
So then they just
Also, I
moved
heard
him
that
to
when
a
the victim
different
was let
company
go,
instead of
he was given
firing him?
$30,000 in severance.
Maybe there's like no evidence or something. Because I know that HRs, like, it takes a lot for someone to get fired. Otherwise, they're liable for it if it's untrue.
It was the original dubbing company called Unilingo.
I have a crazy story I could tell you guys sometime on the podcast that we're going to be launching when after I move.
and
this next
created
month. We're
Creator
going to be
Global.
launching a new
Profile
podcast, and
employee
I'm
number
going to be
2,
telling you guys some life
asked the same
stories,
question, have you heard
some
of
life
this section called
experiences
company?
that
I
I've
said,
had.
yes, I don't know how to
And
spell your
that'll probably
name.
be one of them.
Lakoya, something like that.
Some
He was
interesting
brought
stuff.
in last year after having not worked there for a year or so at a very high level. I
Right.
respond, Lakoya Hill. They say the reason he had been asked to leave previously is that he had sexually harassed someone that still worked at the company when he was brought back. Yes, Lakoya Hill. But they brought him back knowing he had sexually harassed an employee previously. And people
Okay.
often talk about Lakoya making them very
Now
uncomfortable on
that
shoots.
is where
If
the
I'm
major
playing through-
issue, because you could pull the card and say, you know what, we moved him, we took action, you know, we did our thing, we did what we were supposed to do, like he's not working around the same guy anymore, and there was no proof, there wasn't enough proof to get him fired necessarily, but there was enough proof to be like, okay, well, or not proof, but you know, say so. That they were like, all right, well, just to make this employee feel more safe and comfortable, maybe we should separate them. And I think that's a decent move for if you go off of that. Obviously, there was actual evidence, and you should just fire the fucking guy. But I guess it's just me. But now this is getting bad because you brought him back when the whole point was to get rid of him in the first place. And while that other employee was still working there, making a shitty work environment.
I'm looking into more accusations of sexual misconduct at the company.
Man.
Wondering if there's anything you could
Interesting.
corroborate. Have you heard of anything about Lakoya Hill?
Should be charging my
Respond, the
mouse.
old gay guy who likes to bang 18-year-old straight employees? Yeah,
Uh-oh.
I've heard of him. Anything non-consensual to your knowledge? I heard he got in trouble for hooking
Yeah,
up with
I've
his
heard
18-year-old
of him.
straight assistant, but the company kept it quiet from what I heard.
Interesting.
He's a producer and worked in the adult entertainment before MrBeast. Yeah, Lakoya Hill Entertainment. I heard he was fired for sexual harassment, then brought back a year later. That's what I heard too. Employee number 4. Do you know who Lakoya Hill is? Yes. And you're aware of the case that has been covered up for some time. Explain. Essayed multiple people, apparently roofied multiple people as well. Verified employee number 5. I'll also say this person is especially credible.
This is
but they worked there
bad,
a while
man.
ago, like 2020, 2021, around then.
Sexually
Okay,
assaulted
few things.
assistant.
Lakoya
Oh, he's gonna
sexually
read it.
assaulted his
I don't have to
assistant,
read
who
it.
was straight, and Lakoya was gay. You probably already know that. But James is best friends with him, so holy shit, was that surprising that they kept him around way longer than they should have. There were reports of him making the assistant sleep in the same room/bed with him on trips, touching him inappropriately, and
Okay, now this is bad.
Did you hear anything about Lakoya Hill? I
Yeah. That sounds like some type of shit. Oh no. I forgot to fucking order 2 bed. Oh no, I forgot to order a 2-bedroom. Oh, whoopsie. Looks like we have to share a bed and the same sheets and blanket. Oh no, there's no pull-out couch? However will we solve this? Yeah, I don't know, man. If you ask me, it's some shady shit right there. How do you accidentally book a fucking 1-bedroom? Okay? And especially on a business trip. I would be triple checking. I'd cancel the damn reservation and be like, you know what, can you upgrade this to a 2-bedroom real quick? I would do that before I would fucking sit in the same room as another man. Not even another man, another woman. Like, or not in the same room, but in the same bed. It is one thing if you are in 2 separate beds and you're in the same room. If you are in the same fucking bed, what the hell does that imply, brother? Unless you're family, like, that's just weird. That's not professional at all. It's for work, too. What the fuck?
And I heard they brought him back and just put him in a different department.
Like,
And
hello?
I don't know, but I think he's working there again. Now, recently, MrBeast has let Lakoya
Oh boy, I
know.
love to see the
They
fucking
had
crotch
this
shot
sort
of
of
Mr.
leaked
Beast every 2
email
seconds, man.
Where they say, therefore, along with Jeff Hausenbold, our new president
Fuck's
and
sake, bro.
COO, right? Alluding to the fact that
I know he's got it all on a board, but like,
Now, I have been open
Stop
with
scrolling past it.
MrBeast about the fact that I was going to cover
Ah,
Lakoya Hill.
yes, the
This is in
groomer.
my first video where I referenced Lakoya. He's also in my Twitter header.
on the
I
right
also
over there.
just told people who work at MrBeast that they have
Good
to
idea
let
of a good
Lakoya Hill
resolution.
go. So they did what I wanted and let him go, right? Well, just on a whim, I decided to look into the Creator Global LinkedIn, and it had gone private to where everyone just shows up as a LinkedIn member, right? But I saw this, L, LinkedIn member, president of Creator Global. I thought, you know what, that's a little suspicious. So I reached out to one of my connections close to MrBeast and I said, hey, can you look into this account for me? Because sometimes if you have connections, you can see private LinkedIn accounts. And this is what they saw. Lakoya Hill, listed as the current president at Creator Global.
Oh, so now
May 2001,
did he really
became
launch
the
a whole
president of Creator
company
Global
just
in
to get him in a
2024.
higher
This
position
is like
again?
the
I mean, probably not, but
where you get to, like,
still,
keep track of, the
you
pets
chose
and
the
this,
one
as MrBeast
motherfucker
just moves them
who was
between
messing
companies.
shit up
They just sort of kept
to
moving
come
them
back.
around. You know, like those killer whales at SeaWorld, after it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
Which I heard, you know, MrBeast or James Warren.
Interesting. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what happened, right? Just don't give the history and nothing to happen, right?
The report on
remove the footprint.
Misconduct at the company.
Even though the footprint is very much out there. Digital footprint is real, boys. Be careful what you post on the internet. That shit could come back to bite you in the ass.
$28,000
bonus for LaKoya. Which there's definitely something suspicious going on with that.
Hey buddy, it's James. Sorry to be bothering you. I've done my absolute best not to bother you. But LaKoya had presented a bunch of stuff to me and Jimmy a little bit ago. All really great stuff. But he had asked me and Jimmy personally. He's like, hey, you know, can I have a $28,000 bonus?
I don't know if I trust voice memos unless they literally got it from his voice memo itself.
I had brought him up to my level.
AI has gotten really good recently,
so for like 2 years he didn't get
I'm kind of skeptical about a lot of things, boys. You guys will definitely hear that.
Percentage bonuses. I need a favor. Sue cannot process this bonus through Beast. I need a solid. Can you please process a 28K bonus for LaKoya? Let me know. Bye.
What did he do to earn a 28K bonus? I know that he said that the other CEOs or CEOs, COOs, and whatever were getting bonuses, but that doesn't mean that he automatically gets one. What did he do to earn it?
And that's just what I can put on the record. I will say that if MrBeast tries to deny
Bro, do I gotta... Okay, I don't have to blank it out, right? Because, I mean,
people will definitely come out,
I don't know if it's gonna take monetization away.
Right, this is true. These allegations
YouTube,
are true.
please don't.
This is all true. Allegedly,
I don't know if showing crotches on my screen or crotch bulges are gonna get my shit demonetized.
Just to show sort of
but I don't know. We'll have to see.
Especially from a female's perspective. She says, on my very first day, I was told to avoid being alone in a room with certain people in positions of power. At least once.
I think that's anywhere though.
To inappropriate questions and conversations.
Some people will just get away with it because they have so much power. It's not a good thing, but it fucking happens, and it's good to at least be aware.
Some coworker said it wasn't fair that women could just decide a past sexual encounter wasn't consensual. Many of the men I worked with would make assault and pet jokes on a daily basis.
Right.
They would scream and hit walls when they got upset. The minute any woman leaves a room, they would talk about if/how they would fuck her. I've heard men comment on female contestants' bodies many times. Not everyone behaves this way, but no one openly speaks out against it in fear of losing their job. If you complain about any of this, you'll be shamed for being too sensitive or just ignored. You can't take anything to HR either because Jimmy's mom runs it. It's pretty common for people to essentially get paid to leave.
Why does someone in the fucking family run HR? What the hell? That is stupid. That is like if one CL, the stuff that we run for 1v1.lol competitive, if you guys come watch this video and you watch all the way through this point, you guys can go ahead and join that in the description. But anyways, getting a little sidetracked. Yeah, that would be the equivalent of having an HR for that and having like my girlfriend or something run HR. That way when anybody reported me, she could just be like, fuck that, not reporting it. Nothing happened. Like, what? I would get a different person who is completely unbiased and it doesn't really have like that much connection to like the community itself and all the players in it to handle it on a more personal level. Why the fuck, or like a professional level, why the fuck is this being held on a personal level with his mom? I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense.
If you ask for one or what the company's policies
Makes
are,
no sense.
They just tell you to ask them and they'll let you know if anything is against the rules. But again, there's
yeah,
nothing
like
right
what the
which
fuck?
Is true. The leaked document is just the production manual, not given to all employees. Here's another testimony. This person will go on the record. This is Jess, who accused Ava Chris Tyson of sexual assault. I think her case has been sort of mostly ignored because she wasn't a minor when it happened. But she was a MrBeast employee, and you can see in her evidence and her communications with the company the clear signs of a cover-up. You can see them like threatening her with legal action and emails and saying like, oh, we're gonna have a law firm investigate this. Well, they had one firm do an internal investigation, McGuire Woods LLP, the same law firm that sent me my first cease and desist. But then they hired, I guess, Harvey Weinstein's legal team, allegedly, to re-review everything. So I guess they weren't happy with the results of the first internal investigation. Also, yeah, this new law firm, Quinn Emanuel, MrBeast.
I was still listening to you, boys. So
allegedly,
I can multitask pretty easily.
Internally investigate LaKoya Hill's sexual misconduct. So why don't you make that report public, Jimmy? Anyway, here's Jess's testimony. I only hung out with Jimmy a handful of times, but he definitely was a little more reserved around me because I wasn't a part of his inner circle, or the boys club as it's called. I did hear Jimmy straight up say that the guy making a documentary on him right now has footage of him saying stuff that would absolutely get him canceled. It's just a well-known thing. The boys club is misogynistic and looks down on women.
Is he talking about Dogpack?
Despite what they might say publicly. Behind closed doors, the women in the company know that the culture is a problem. I have heard multiple stories of Jimmy being directly informed of SA happening at the company and proactively working to keep it quiet. So Jess directly implicating Jimmy in the SA cover-ups. LaKoya with an 18-year-old straight assistant. So she's one of the people corroborating that story. Ava told Jimmy about a time she was essayed by another talent member on a private jet, and talent members / employees making advances towards contestants was a regular occurrence. The reason all of this was
why am I not too surprised? A lot of men locked in with a lot of women for long periods of time.
To be traditional women. He pushed those values into the company when he created it, and it resulted in several SA allegations
you know what, man?
About, and probably a lot more.
Listen. If you guys clicked during the thing, and like you guys were like cool, like you thought the other person was really cool, and you guys were like, you know what? How about we talk after? Or like, how about like after this we go and we hang out? They say no, then just no, okay. But at the same time, you also can't ask this shit when you were on the clock. You are staff. That is like us at Knott's when we were working at Knott's. Because especially when I was like, when I first got hired at Knott's, I was like 18 years old. So we were always told, because there's always people around like closer to our age, like between like 18 and 20 at the theme park, you can't like talk to them like that. You have to just be normal. And not only that, they even told us, if we even got phone numbers like written on a slip or something. That actually happened to me once. A very interesting story, a long time ago, but that's besides the point. But they told you to just throw it straight out, or if they flirted with you, you had to just straight deny them and ignore them. Or not ignore them, but like, be like, that's not appropriate or something like that. Like, even if you did think that they were, you know, good looking or something like that, or you thought they were cool, I don't know. But you can't do that in a professional space. That's not how it's supposed to be. And that's how it's supposed to be. Like, you're not supposed to do it in a professional space. And yeah, so I mean, that just kind of goes for it. Like, if you guys run into them after the cameras are off and like you guys are talking and stuff like that, and you guys click, like going out of your way when you're on a production set is weird. It's weird. Don't do it. And let them initiate. That way, when shit like this happens, you can be like, hey, guess what? She actually talked to me first. Because there's nobody coming out trying to defend themselves over here.
Don't know yet. Which I will say, a lot of the SA allegations are still not public.
This is getting bad.
Like, man, just fire James Warren and LaKoya Hill. Fire them. Don't just move them around. Or I'm going to start dropping nukes. Anyway, let's. I'm going to move Maddie Spadell away from all this.
All right.
I just want to touch on this briefly. So Maddie Spadell, who's MrBeast's very public ex-girlfriend of 2.5 years, posted this on her Instagram story. She doesn't mention Jimmy by name. It's sort of vague. I think probably either because
that must be so awkward.
Maybe she's just
that video is still up too.
To see how people respond before sharing more information.
That's got to be awkward.
It's like not that
I would take it
if you're
down.
Reading comprehension and can read context clues. She says she spent years being quiet.
I mean, 42 million views. That's a lot of money, man.
19 to 21 are formative years.
Probably still making a decent amount of money nowadays too.
Trusted men.
Still probably getting thousands of views,
therapy.
which is
She
money.
says how he treats other women will ultimately be how he treats you. So how does Jimmy treat other women?
I don't really get along with women. I don't really get along with women. I don't really get along with women. Well, women are stupid because they're inferior to men.
That when she and a group of contestants who were menstruating during the event had asked the production staff about getting their underwear.
Okay, I don't like the out of context clips. Those are, I hate out of context clips.
Actually respect women.
They're not reliable.
Like you respect them.
My God.
MrBeast withheld my birth control. I have ovarian cysts. You can't just.
Okay, but these are bad.
I don't really get
like the menstruating and all that. That's bad.
Jimmy goes on to talk about his relationship with his current girlfriend Tia.
Like that's a medical emergency.
Ways, in my opinion.
That's a medical emergency.
Yeah, like an idea of a date is just to like take an IQ test and then study and see if we can get a higher. An idea of a date is just to like take an IQ test, and then she was like, "I'm an author," and I was like, "Fuck yeah, good." She has a hobby, and then I just DM'd her. I was like, "Oh, so your book? Can I read it?" She sent it over, read the whole book, and it was just like acting like it was the greatest book ever. I don't really get along with women.
It's all of our jobs to protect our
That's
friends.
wild. I mean, a little bit more context to that first clip, but I mean, still take out of complete context.
That's
like
a
out of the podcast.
Clear statement, if you ask me. Now, I almost feel like there's been a campaign against Maddie Spadell to discredit her before she's even shared any information. A lot of like cloud chaser and gold digger allegations.
Right. I mean,
So
that
this
comes
is
with
also
everybody,
from that,
though.
Rolling Stone article. They reference the breakup. The reporter says, you know, Maddie Spidell, who's appeared in a handful of videos, those in MrBeast's inner circle told me that Spidell had been a positive influence, forcing Donaldson to prioritize work-life balance more. Donaldson did not want to comment on the record about the breakup, citing Spidell's privacy, yet Chris Tyson, says Donaldson's singular focus on work was a major contributing factor. I think that's what he's going to be looking for next. Somebody who can match his obsession with business and money and all that kind of stuff.
So somebody who's less maintenance, I guess, but that's fucked up.
The people in his inner circle,
wait,
which is pretty unusual of an ex-girlfriend.
Okay, that's
show
possibly what it was.
Coverage,
And that's why he didn't want to comment on it.
In his news organization Drama Alerts. So there's just one of his many posts about Maddie. Thread of every time MrBeast's ex-girlfriend allegedly shaded him, downplaying the clout-chasing claims against her. So let's see this extensive thread. One post of a TikTok where she says she was traumatized at 19. Why do you think that's about Jimmy, Keemstar? Allegedly complaining about MrBeast fans. This is her most popular TikTok period with over 6.5 million
Right,
views.
I mean,
It was posted last
that's
year.
kind of
And then Drama Alert goes on to give
what
one
happens
more example.
when you
That's
go
the
public.
thread.
That's why you shouldn't go
Consider
public
most
if you want your
popular
privacy to be
TikTok,
kept.
seems to be alluding to her relationship
Yeah,
with
just don't go
MrBeast.
public.
And then she has hundreds of more TikToks.
Hide it.
Where she never even tried
Or
to
just don't show your
recruit the
personal
success
life
of first
that
TikTok, right?
much.
Like if I'm her
To
social
where
media
people are
manager,
like,
I'm telling her,
where is
hey,
she?
post about Jimmy Moore. And she obviously knows that if she did that, she would get more views. And yet she doesn't do it. Hundreds of TikToks, about 30 of them are about Taylor Swift, maybe 3 are about her ex-boyfriend of 2.5 years, which
Taylor
for a Swiftie,
Swift, huh?
it's extremely
He's
extremely
Swifties,
low
bro.
to post only 3 times about your ex-boyfriend who's now incredibly famous. So if she was cloud chasing, she's doing a horrible job at it. Now, Drama Alert, on the other hand, has posted more times in the past month about Maddie Spidell than Maddie Spidell has ever posted about
These are some
MrBeast.
crazy allegations, boys. So this is all true. This is crazy.
So I just wanted to address
Tick
that.
right.
MrBeast
That's
knows
crazy.
Maddie has nukes against him, and he's trying to discredit her. So let's look at this leaked email. This is from MrBeast. It says, yesterday, Dawson saved 100 billion. Whoa, guys, whoa. Guys, I don't know how that got there. That was the wrong email. I don't know how that got there. Yeah, so I've actually heard from pretty credible people that this email was not leaked. So, you know, why lie about it? Devious or deceptive tendencies. Here he is.
Wait, I don't get it. Wait.
Leaked. That was 100 billion. Whoa!
From a burning orphanage, it's important that we keep this secret. Do not send this email directly to Keemstar. Huh? Okay, so he's showing us the email. Oop, I pressed mute
Guys,
by
I don't know
accident.
how that got there. that was the wrong email.
I was
I don't
confused
know
what
how
was
that
happening
got
at first.
there.
I was
So
like,
I'm
what the
actually hearing
hell?
from pretty credible
Like
people
what?
that this email was not leaked. So
Almost
you know,
closed
why lie
OBX.
about it?
That would have been all bad.
Devious
I had to
or
restart the entire
deceptive
recording, and
tendencies.
that
Here
shit
he
is
quoted
this
in
video
an
is
article
this
saying,
recording's like 30 minutes.
I'm great at lying. But I want to focus in on this part.
Oh,
They say,
man.
therefore, along with Jeff Hausenbold, our new
Right.
president and COO, we will be hiring a new chief human resource officer, chief financial officer, interesting, and general counsel, along with other roles to add capacity and competencies to foster a better internal culture as we continue to grow. So what's interesting about this is that the only person named in an initiative to foster a better internal culture is Jeff Hausenbold. But what's ironic about this is that Jeff Hausenbold has been in the news previously for the internal culture that he helped create as managing partner at SoftBank Vision Fund. Here's New York Post. Nasty executives shaped macho culture at SoftBank Vision Fund. And here's Bloomberg Business Week. SoftBank Vision Fund employees depict a culture of recklessness. It has also been described as an environment of sycophancy and harassment. So seemingly all the problems that people have with MrBeast's
Right.
internal culture. But this Bloomberg article also goes to call Jeff out by name. Jeff Hausenbold collects cars, including a blue Ferrari, and claims to own a 20,000 bottle wine cellar, although he doesn't drink
Okay.
himself. Acquaintances
Reflex.
describe him as smart and arrogant
Reflex.
and almost entirely lacking in self-awareness. He's also gotten away with some questionable behavior. In a discussion about whether to invest in the stationary bike startup Peloton in 2017, according to 2 people who were in the meeting, Hausenbold opined that its exercise equipment appealed in part to men who masturbated to its workout videos.
Dude, I want Fuck, I want to jerk off! Look at this!
Yeah,
SoftBank's
that
not
is
complaining, but it's not
not
specific
good
thing
as
for 2
well.
people to make up a story about masturbating to
Yeah,
Peloton workout
I'd-
videos. So yeah, maybe I don't see the vision with hiring this guy as the new president. Also,
Yeah, I don't think that's
this is
really a
just what I
great
can
idea
share
either.
Right now, I do have more information.
I don't understand, bro. Do they not do background checks at all
Trying to get
at
permission
MrBeast?
from the
If this is
victims
all
and
true?
everything.
Like, do they not do background checks
Also
at all,
trying to
boys?
save some things for when MrBeast responds.
This is
So anyway,
ridiculous.
yeah. Thanks for watching.
Alright, so that's pretty much the end of the video, boys. So that's gonna be the end of the reaction, but honestly, final thoughts? If this is all true, because it's all allegations, remember? All allegations until it's further addressed and covered, which MrBeast said he's just gonna wait for everything to come out and then make one giant video. Honestly, in my own opinion, though, I'd be making a video covering each video to kind of, you know, protect myself as I go. But it kind of just seems like he's just waiting for everything at once, and that's not really great in the long run, only because now he's starting to get, you know, trampled, and he hasn't brought a shred of evidence to defend himself yet. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Let's see how it turns out. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed today's video, don't forget to drop a like and sub, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Laters.